Happy Pride, everyone, and welcome to the kickoff of the Refractions of Pride Festival. We are the proud producers of this inaugural event.
Now, due to COVID-19, Pride is a little different this year, but that doesn't mean we can't celebrate the beautiful stories and the incredible diversity from within the LGBTQ community.
So we decided to launch a 3-day virtual festival, bringing you the many voices of Pride, alongside a wide array of artistic performances.
And best of all, every penny of every ticket you buy will go back to an incredible organization, the Forney Center, who provide shelter and opportunities to homeless LGBTQ youth.
So we invite you to sit back, relax, and let's begin the festival. Happy Pride! Hello, everyone! Welcome to Refractions of Pride, Living for Society. I hope you guys are at home, chilling, trying to stay proud and amidst it all, honey. I'm so excited to be partnering with Refractions of Pride to bring you guys Living for Cis. Honey, you all Living for Cis. We are going to sit down with some great people over this weekend, and I am just so blessed to be here. And also, before we start, honey, let's get into the look. You don't have to give it to the girls. Real proud girl, honey. I got my rainbow hair going on. I got my rainbow nails going on. I got the look, the eyelashes. So I'm ready to go. So I am so excited. And I got a little opening monologue I got to say. Let me not forget. Okay. Hi, and welcome to Refractions of Pride, Living for Cis. Please make sure to visit the festival website to make a donation to the Forney Center and help save LGBTQ plus youth from homelessness. It is right down here. Just go to that and donate. Oh, y'all already donated. Donate. Get your tickets for the whole festival. Make sure you tune in. We got some good stuff for y'all, and it's all for a great cause. So today I am sitting down with Tree, honey, and Tree was a part of the whole original Stonewall riots, honey. So we're going to sit down and get to the bottom of what happened. We're going to figure it out. I'm so excited to sit down with him and chit-chat. Bring him on.
Hey.
Hello.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride, honey. You didn't have a lot of pride.
Oh, yeah, I've been doing this for years.
Yes.
The day of the rebellion, I was 30 years old.
30?
Now I am 81 years young. Oh,
my gosh. So you have been there through it all.
And I'm still here, live and kicking.
Yes. So, okay, so let's sit down and talk about it. So the first question I want to ask, I always start with on Living for Cis. The first thing I want to ask you is definitely like, what was your dream? Like growing up, where you were born, where were you born?
I was born in Brooklyn, New York, and raised in Manhattan.
Oh, wow. So you're a New York native.
Yep.
Oh, through and through. Okay. So, growing up, what did you want to do for the rest of your life? Like, what did you want to become? What did you want to put in the world?
Well, I was hoping to make a career out of the Navy at one time in my life.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And, unfortunately, I had something wrong with my eardrum, and now they would take you for it, but in the 50s, they wouldn't take me for it.
Right.
And, I just wanted to be anything. I was thrown out of high school because I was in a gang in the 50s.
Yes.
Now, if you were born in Brooklyn in the 50s, you had to belong to a gang or every corner would beat you up.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
You ever saw the movies Amboy Dukes or Black Boy Jungle? That was Brooklyn.
Right. Wow.
And, I had no idea I was going to lick and join everybody at one point. But I didn't want to fight people. I used to get excited looking at them. I couldn't figure that out why.
Yeah.
And one day I snuck into the village and I walked around a little bit and I saw these very obvious guys going into a coffee shop. I went in. It was called Mama's Chicken Ribs. This is the early 60s.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as I saw everybody in there, I knew it was a gay hangout.
Wow.
And I met friends there. I'm still friends with a whole bunch of them.
Mm-hmm.
And as I got to know the manager, Mark White, we called him Erica Fox. One day I said, "Can I have a cup of coffee?" He said, "I'm busy. You go get it." When I was back there, he said, "Make me 2 more." Didn't know how to make a malted, and the next thing I know is I worked there 6 years.
Oh my gosh!
And after work, we'd go to a bar called the Ninth Circle, and then we go to Stonewall, but we only went to Stonewall to dance.
Okay.
Remember, it was against the law to serve known homosexuals alcohol in New York City.
Yeah.
So we'd knock on the door, they'd let us in. Our friends that worked there, Mario May West, told us, "Don't drink the booze, it's half water."
Wow.
Remember, it was owned by the mafia.
So tell me about, let's talk, I keep hearing about, well, let me talk a little bit about you, but let me mark down, because I do want to talk about the mafia. So I want to talk about you for a little bit. So when do you think that you first knew that you were gay? Like, when did you first walk into that identity and that understanding?
Probably between 15 and 16.
15 and 16, and this was in
Brooklyn. And I was in Brooklyn with my friends. I met another kid, and we fooled around a little. Well, we didn't know anything. We used to play strip poker, and all of us would lose on purpose because we wanted to see the other people naked.
Oh, hey.
And then after we were naked, we would play another hand and go, "Well, if you touch mine, I'll touch yours." And I've been touching them for the last 50 years.
Well, look. Wow. So, I guess it's just crazy to me to think that, now thankfully the little representation that queer folk do have, I was in my 20s figuring out who I truly was, but in that period of time to have no sense of like constant source of media, constant source of like representation, it was just like you had to go based off of what you felt and what you knew, because you didn't have anybody to help you out and usher you through that. How was that? Like, did your parents know? Like, how was that?
I took my mother years because I dated girls as a kid. And my mother always thought I was all right. And then when I moved into my apartment in New York, she thought my roommate was my roommate.
Okay.
And then when he was killed in a car crash after 22 years, and I stayed alone for a couple of years, then I met somebody, and he became my new roommate. My mother was a little suspicious because he was 25 years younger than I was. And we were together 14 years.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And my mother found out when we took her on my birthday to Sunday brunch at a restaurant called Waverly, right on the corner by Stonewall. And my mother's looking around. They're singing happy birthday to me. They're sending champagne. And my mother goes, "Look at that girl's hair. Oh, my God. This one looks like a man. Why is that waiter wearing nail polish?"
Oh, no.
And she went, I could see the expression on her face. She looked at me. She looked at Pat. She looked at me, looked at Pat, came back to me and went, "Oh." And that's how I came out to my mother. Ah.
What age was that?
Oh, God. 40 years ago?
Wow. Okay, so about 40 years old. 40 years old.
Maybe even longer, because we were Russian. I'm Russian Orthodox, and they're very religious. It's like Italian and Greek parents. They find out their children are gay, they disown them, especially in the 50s and 60s. And so I remember in the 60s, we had no rights at all. Not one right. It was against the law to be a homosexual, to have a drink. That's why the mafia bought everything.
Wow. And so was your dad around during this time, or did you say
he died when I was a child? He had cancer real bad.
Oh, wow. And how old?
I was in my early teens.
Oh, wow.
They said they can't do anything about it. So,
do you feel like your relationship with your father, like, do you think that he would have been accepting and understanding, and did y'all have a great relationship?
I have no idea. We got along, but we didn't get along.
Yeah, I understand.
I was a kid in the 50s, a gang, and they didn't like my friends. Half the times I didn't like my friends.
I know that's right. How did you fare growing up? And like, I know you say you're in a gang. Like, what was New York like in the 50s and the 60s? Like before the.
Well, if you ever watched the movie Blackboard Jungle, where you walk over and you grab the teacher by the neck and say, "Pass me or else." and they would pass you rather than get beat up in classroom. And we all got thrown out of school because we were throwing furniture on top of people outside the windows.
Uh-huh.
And that was Bushwick High School.
Wow. Okay.
In Brooklyn. And then
you weren't going around saying "pass me" or else.
Well, you know what it was. Then I moved in with my cousin Vladimir for a year, but he was a big alcoholic, and I hated the fact that he would wake me up, help me find my car. Once he found it in a schoolyard, he thought it was a parking lot. And then the second time, he drove it up the 3 steps to our house. And when I opened the door to go to work, there was the car. That's when I decided I have to move.
Oh, right. Wow.
He's living in Pennsylvania. I hope he's still alive. I haven't seen him in years.
Yeah. Well, I hope Vladimir is all right, honey. So tell me a little bit. About this mafia. About the mafia that owned the bar. Tell me, and they didn't. It was like they would pay off the cops so that they would stay away.
Right. The cops never raided a gay bar because it was gay or homosexuals. They only raided the bar for a payoff. They knew it was a gay bar. I worked for Harry the Horse, Frankie Shades, Fat Tony. And the other years I worked for Jake the Tailor, Benny Keys. They all had those crazy names. And they liked us, but they didn't understand us. They never bothered. Like if I was a bartender or waited then in those days, before I started working in them, and I caught me stealing, they would break my arm, but they would not fire me. Wow. You work with your arm in a sling to let everybody know you stole from the bosses.
Right.
And then as you became closer to them, you became a manager of one of their places.
Wow.
They knew they could trust you then.
And so do you remember your first, because you were a bartender at Stonewall, right?
Well, the night of the rebellion, I was in there dancing with my friends Charlie and Frank and Gregory.
So you weren't working there yet?
No, I was hanging out there.
Okay.
The first gay bar, they took me at 16. Remember, I'm 6'5", so I looked older. And they took me to a bar called Bally Davy.
Okay.
On 86th Street and Broadway. And I walk into the first gay bar I ever been into, and there's a cop sitting at the door with a sign in the window, "This is a rated premise." And I was scared shit, but they told me, no, he gets money at the end of the night not to notice anything.
Right.
All we did was count how many people going in and out. And we used to see people going in the back room. I wouldn't go in the back, but after about 3 or 4 weeks, I said to my friend, I'm going to go and see what's going on back there.
Right.
So I went in the back room. I came out, and they said, what's going on back there? I go, they're dancing. And that was it. I started dancing with everybody back there. We did the cha-cha, mambo, the lindy, the stroll, all those dances. You danced to a jukebox. There were no DJs then, and it was so much fun.
I bet. I go to these clubs now, and I'm like, can y'all play Hot Girl Summer? I don't want to hear this the same old club remix. I bet.
The songs only lasted 3 minutes on a jukebox. Now you can go on a dance floor for an hour to the same song all by yourself.
Right. Do you still dance? Tree?
Well, the United States State Department sent me to Serbia to help them with their gay rights movement last year. And I went to they took me to a gay bar. Even the straight people that worked at the embassy thought I was fun and crazy, so they wanted to hang out with me. And we're sitting at a table at this very nice, crowded bar, and these 3 lesbians that I made a speech for earlier grabbed me and pulled me out on the dance floor.
Yeah.
And the people at the American Embassy said, "Oh my God, he can still dance."
Yes. So I guess now what we should do. So tell me about June 28th, 1969. Tell me about that day. Tell me about. Do you remember what you ate for breakfast that morning? Do you remember waking up that morning? What was your day like?
No, I don't remember anything like that. We used to go. I went to Mama's Chicken Room. We hung out there for a while, and then we said, "Let's go to Stonewall and dance." And we walked up Christopher Street, passing policemen and making fun of them. Like somebody would say, "Hey, Tree, does your father work?" I go, "No, he's a cop." And what's a penny made out of, Tree? I go, "Dirty copper."
So y'all would never go to cops.
And then we went in the bar, we danced. Now, I went to jail 10, 12 times for being in gay bars.
Wow.
They raided the bar. They took us to jail. Not all the time. Sometimes they threw us out.
Mm-hmm.
But they put us in a big bullpen. No fingerprints, no photos.
Mm-hmm.
We go before a judge the next morning. The judge would say, "You're wasting my time. Get the hell out of here."
Yeah.
So another judge would say, "You're a bunch of perverts. $20 fine." And the boys would send their lawyer down, known as Enid Gerling. We call her Enid the Hat because she always wore crazy hats.
Mm-hmm.
Pay the fine, and we'd all go back to the bar the next night.
Wow.
But in 1969, it wasn't raided by the neighborhood precinct. They would come in and say, "Okay, girls, line up." And we'd all line up, and they asked me my name. I would go Fenwick Fingernail, and he would write it down, never ask for my ID. My friend Georgie Wolf girl, Donabella Beach, Queen Elizabeth, whatever name you gave them, they wrote down.
Mm-hmm.
Either they threw us out or they sent us to jail. But the night of the rebellion, it was raided by the police, the vice squad.
Right.
They were after the bosses.
Right.
And they came in not nice. They came in pushing, shoving, screaming. In fact, some of them threw a drug on the floor and would say, "Step on that, that's yours." And people said, "Hell no," because they were going to say you were arrested for that drug.
Right.
The next thing you know, pushing and shoving, swinging, a bottle went past me, and the next thing we know, the riot broke out.
Wow.
Now, we were if you ever passed Stonewall, the empty store there now was the original bar.
Mm-hmm.
Where the bar is now was just a dance floor. There was an arch in the middle of the room where you went in from one side to the other.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the entrance was on the other side, and we were in the dance floor. So we went into the other room because everybody was being pushed in there. And we were very lucky that the neighborhood cop, Charlie, on the beat, did not know there was a raid. He came in to see what was going on, and he saw us, and he was a nice cop. At 4 a.m, I could say, "Can I have 35 cents to go home?" He would give it to me.
Wow.
He's one of those cops. But he noticed that Gregory was with us, and Gregory was a Catholic priest at those times. And in 1969, it wouldn't be nice for a priest to be caught in a gay bar.
Right.
So Charlie gave us the high sign, and one by one, we slithered out behind him, like against the wall, while everybody was fighting in back, and cops were taking names, and there were drag queens and lesbians in men's suits, shirts strapped down, looking like men.
Mm-hmm.
A few customers, and Fat Tony, one of the bosses. And we got outside. Gregory, of course, left, and we joined in with the melee. And Charlie noticed one of the paddy wagons, the cop lock was just hanging. He hit it off, and everybody arrested escaped,
Wow.
running up Christopher Street towards Greenwich Avenue. Literally I can't remember their names for hell, 2 queens actually took a parking meter and kept shaking it, pulled the entire parking meter out of the ground with concrete, and used it as a battering ram to get to the police by knocking the doors in.
Oh,
The cops were barricaded inside. There were paddy paggers, police cars, and it was like 35, 40 people. Next thing you know, 75, 100. Next thing, a couple of hundred. Because people in the neighborhood were walking by, people walking their dogs, tourists, everybody just ganging, wanted to see what was going on.
right.
We broke all the windows. And when we ran into things to throw, we lit garbage cans and threw them through the open window to set the bar on fire with the police and those people in it. So now these people in Stonewall were calling the 6th Precinct for help. Now the 6th Precinct was making a lot of money not to know there was a bar there. They kept saying, "We're busy."
Right.
But when you set a bar on fire with the police in it, they had to come.
Wow.
Now everybody says a high heel broke the window. A high heel would never break a window.
Mm-hmm.
They always say Marsha B. Johnson threw the first brick. Well, it took about 18 years before Marsha B. Johnson finally admitted she wasn't even there that early. She did not throw the first brick.
So when did Marsha get there?
She got there like 2 a.m.
Marsha was late.
Like, Marsha was a street kid. We all knew her. You know, she had no money or anything. When I knew Sylvia Rivera, she was a drag queen. She was not a tranny yet. And we danced in the bar with lesbians and fag hags. And it was fun. But, you know, we didn't know, like when people ask me, I always say I was in the right place at the wrong time, or the wrong place at the right time.
Right.
And when we saw the cameramen coming and the police coming, we started running because Frankie Bubbles is Italian. His mother would have killed him when she found out he was gay. My mother would have killed me. So we ran him back to Mama's Chicken Ribs. The next couple of nights, we were out in the crowds, running around like crazy kids. Until we saw cameras, then we all went back to Mama's Chicken Rib.
So how long did the commotion last? Like how long
a few days. I mean, it started gathering people. Remember, most of us were bridge and tunnel. Nobody lived in the city. I did. I lived on my apartment. I'm still here 52 years. And most people came in from Staten Island, Brooklyn, Queens. So they were called bridge and tunnel gay people. They would come in on weekends, but there were people around that stayed overnight. If I would pick up a boy in the neighborhood, nothing was locked. We would go on to sneak on the roof of a building. And we slept up there. We had sex up there. Because he lived in Jersey, I live in New York. So we had sex on top of the roof, and then we come home.
So when did you start working at Stonewall?
Well, I started working there. Then after the rebellion, they closed the place. I was supposed to start a couple of weeks later.
Okay.
So I wound up working at the Ninth Circle as a doorman.
Okay.
A very notorious bar. And then one day the owner said, "We're going to make you a bartender." And I said, "Bobby, I don't drink. I never made a drink." And he said, "You're going to learn to do both." And that was 52 years ago.
Wow.
Bobby that owned it was a carny man. He owned Games of Chances in Coney Island, Seaside Heights. He was part owners in Max's Kansas City, where Mick Jagger and them all hang out. And he was straight as an arrow, crazy guy, but we loved him. He treated us like gold. But when he died, his son refused to pay the police off, and they raided and closed it after 24 and a half years. Then I went to Julius's, the oldest gay bar in America, right on the corner of Waverly. And I worked there for 5 years. Then I was going to retire. I went to Brazil for a while. I don't go to count the sand. I go to see boys. And I got a phone call, "Come back. We want you there." So I worked for Dominic DeSimone for a few years. And he didn't pay bills, so they were closing the bar. They took it away from him. And then the people from the duplex, Bill, Kurt, Tony, they took over the Stonewall, called me up and said, "You're the history of this bar. You have to work for us. What days do you want to work?" And I said, "Thursday, Friday, Saturday during the day." And I said, "Okay." And unfortunately, it's closed. We opened phase 4. So I have to wait till I go back to work. I miss the people I work with so much.
Yeah.
I miss our regulars that are there all the time. And I miss the people I could have met in the last 4 months.
Wow. So how long? So I guess you've been working there for 40 years.
I'm on that block 52 years.
52 years. And how? Like, what is that like? Seeing the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, and talking about then talking about the AIDS crisis. Like, how was it living through that?
My friend Johnny Marino, who people also call Johnny Poole from Fire Island, who's now Uncle Johnny on the Elvis Duran show.
Wow.
When him and I meet a 55-year friendship, we always look at each other and say, "Why are we still alive?"
Yeah. Wow.
The crazy things we've done.
Yeah.
Now, during the AIDS crisis, I lost thousands of friends. I'm talking about acquaintances, friends, and customers.
Yeah.
A whole generation I lost. My favorite waiters, people I used to know. I'll ask where they were. They died. Because there were no drugs at the beginning. And then when the drugs finally came out, they didn't work that much either.
Yeah.
And now some of my friends have AIDS for the last 30 years, and they look healthier than me.
Yeah. That's the beauty of it all. Thank God for modern medicine.
Yeah. They always say the good die young, so I'll be around a while.
So what? So tell me some some family friendly. What is the worst thing you got into, Tree?
Well, in my days at the Ninth Circle, I served Rock Hudson.
Wow.
We called him Roy, which is his real name. And Peter Allen came in there all the time. He wrote a song about the Ninth Circle. Just ask me, I've been there. I see angels and sin there. And Dave Chappelle, Bianca Jagger, Angie Bowie, David Bowie's wife. And they
Mhm.
always come into the ninth circle. And then I worked at Julius's and Keen Curtis. Mr. Hill on Cheers was always there. Some of the cast from Saturday Night Live was there. And then I worked with Bar Quick for just a couple of months, where stars from, oh God, what's it? Bruce Willis movies, but not Bruce Willis.
Oh.
Die Hard. Some of the cast of Die Hard were there. And now at Stonewall, we had Madonna on New Year's Eve. She sang a few songs.
Mhm.
And we were taking pictures together. And she said to me, "You can move closer. I don't bite." And I said, "I do." And I kid you not, I said to her, "Oh, by the way, 35 years ago or more, I saw you at a gay bar in East Orange, New Jersey called Charlie's West, when you were first starting with the black lace dress with all the crucifixes." She went like this to me and went, "Neither one of us are that old."
Wow.
And, one of those big stars came in and did karaoke one night.
Mhm.
Ted Danza from Becker and Cheers came in, played pool. Vice President Biden came in and bought a round of drinks for people.
Wow. Wow. So,
You never know who's going to walk into a gay bar.
right. So tell me about, like, you said, I know you've traveled a lot. Like, how has that been, to just travel, spread the message? Like, how was that?
Well, I went to 8 countries last year.
Wow.
I went to Austria for the Euro Pride. I made a speech before almost 500,000 people.
Mm-hmm.
I met the president. I gave him a Stonewall T-shirt. There we go.
Yes, man.
I gave the mayor a hat.
Mm-hmm.
I went to England twice. I was presented with the Attitude Magazine Award in England, which is the biggest award they give in gay life in England. It was presented to me by Lance Black, who's a very dear friend. And I was sitting right next to Dame Joan Collins and Taron Egerton and the guy who wrote Queer as Folk.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew I didn't know the younger generation of English performers, but I knew the older generation, being one myself.
Right.
And then after the event, I hung out with Ian McKellen.
Wow. How was that?
Oh, him and I are good friends.
Yeah.
When he's in New York, we see each other. When I go to England, we see each other.
Wow.
But I remind him every once in a while, I am 1 month older than him, to respect his elders.
Yeah. Do you consider yourself an activist?
At the beginning of my life, no, I didn't want to join anything. I was too busy being a sissy, running around, dancing, partying. But as I got older, and I used to deny being at Stonewall because it wasn't important in the first 25 years.
Mm-hmm.
Who cared? It was a gay bar that was rated. Who knew? And if you mentioned Stonewall to 1 million gay people, maybe 100 would know what it was.
Right.
But then I had to make a speech at the United Nations on the 25th anniversary of Stonewall in 1994, and that's when I started joining different charities and organizations.
Wow.
And I'm meeting people. I have, knock wood, I have some of my original friends from day one.
Mm-hmm.
We lost a lot to AIDS, old age, heart attacks, and I'm still having the time of my life.
Yeah. Would you say that experience was, I guess, in a way, like a traumatic experience, or do you think it's something that you found peace from, or you're able to, when you went to sleep that night or that day, were you at peace?
Oh yeah. See, everybody said my dermatologist. I've had skin cancer operations from the sun. My dermatologist says there were no lines in your face because you don't give a shit about anything.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing bothers me. Now I had a great life because, remember, I worked at a gay coffee shop.
Yeah.
The next thing I know is I worked at a gay bar for 25 years, then another bar and another bar. So I was working in the gay community 85% of my life. Right. So I never had to worry about losing my job, somebody calling up my boss and saying he's a homosexual and getting fired, my landlord trying to evict me. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, years ago, people could get thrown out of their apartment in a week because they were homosexuals. Right. Now we're protected real well. We have gay rights. We have marriage. We can adopt children. The younger generation, I'm sure, will come up with new things they would like to have.
That's what we fighting for.
I'm completely satisfied with what I have. you know, I don't want to change anything. Like if I changed what Joey was killed, I would have never met Pat. So you know, and I still travel. I was supposed to be in Greece now.
Yeah.
For Euro Pride, but that was canceled.
Yeah.
Pride in the United States has been canceled. They're all over the world.
Yeah. It sucks and it's sad, but we just keep on keeping on.
See, I was born when Roosevelt was president. Franklin, not Teddy.
Yeah.
And I've seen it all.
Yeah.
World War II, Korean War, everything. This is the worst time in my life, is the coronavirus.
You think so?
Where you have to wear masks. You don't know when you're going to go back to work. You don't know who's going to get sick. You don't know who's going to pass it on. You know who's going to die.
Right.
Confusing. I go down neighborhoods now and I see for rent signs and windows of restaurants that should have never closed.
Wow.
And it's scary. It really is. They canceled everything in Europe. They canceled everything in America.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've never seen anything like this. We lived through AIDS, but we didn't shut down stores, restaurants, bars. You couldn't go on trains or buses. We lost friends to AIDS because nobody knew what that was either till at the beginning. But now with this coronavirus, it's like another world, and it's going to be here. We're going to wear masks for quite a while.
Yeah. 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 Wow.
Thank God I know drag queens. They're making me nice wear next mask.
I don't like wearing lipstick anyway. So I'm like, all right, now I ain't got to. I'll have a full look on because I ain't got to wear nothing. See, that's a cute mask. That's a cute mask. I want to get a mask. Let me show you. I want to get a mask like that has this fabric because that's cute.
Don't you know how to sew?
No, honey. I ain't a sewing queen. I'll leave that to the girls that sew, and I'll support them and buy them some stuff.
Yeah, so I'm just looking forward to the future. Like the parties I was supposed to go to, I tell the people we'll celebrate twice next year.
We will. So tell me about. I love movies. I'm a movie buff. So tell me, what is probably your favorite movie in life?
No, it's hard to say because, like, I like the old 40s movies with Carmen Miranda. I like musicals. I like comedies. Oh, God. I don't even... My favorite singers would be Carmen Miranda, Alice Faye, and Edith Piaf. Because I got to meet Edith Piaf when I was 17, when I was backstage at the Ed Sullivan Show. Wow. On my Facebook, there's an album called Rock and Roll. See me at 16, Paul Anka at 14, Frankie Avalon at 15, Buddy Holly at 19, Little Richard.
Wow.
I knew them all.
I'm obsessed with Frankie Avalon. I'm obsessed. Oh, I couldn't imagine.
He was 15 when I met him.
Wow. How old were you?
I was about 16 and a half.
Okay. So just a year. Oh, I love music Frankie Avalon.
I danced on American Bandstand in 1959-60 in Philadelphia.
You have been around. You have seen it all.
Well, I went to Philadelphia because I fell in love with Kenny Rossi. But when I got to the show, a friend of mine got me on, and he was the only straight guy. Most of the dancers on the bandstand were gay, even the lesbians. And one of my friends, Arlene Sullivan, who danced with Kenny Rossi, wrote a book where she outed all the closet cases on American Bandstand. And she used some of the photos that I took at parties there. Wow. And now she's a croupier in Atlantic City at the Hard Rock.
So so all these pictures that you have, you just had a disposable camera and you just got them developed in?
No, I had a regular camera. You had to have negatives and everything.
Okay.
But now I use the phone. It's so much easier. I did slides. I would say I have about 50 albums. I have celebrities when I used to hang out with Carol Channing and them. That's a whole album there. Wow. You know, I enough wood that dropped out of high school from Brooklyn, New York, wound up hanging out with all these celebrities by just being a nice guy.
Yeah.
You meet one celebrity at celebrity's house, like Rue McClanahan. I used to go to her Christmas parties.
Yeah. And
I met some celebrities there. And I said, oh, by the way, Tree, next week we're having a few people over for drinks. Would you like to come along? I'd be stupid to say no. I go, sure, why not? Put on a suit.
Yes, a socialite, honey.
And I'm still friends with a lot of them in cabaret, nightclub, theater.
Yeah. So both of us have really special names. Tell me, is Tree your birth name or is Tree a nickname?
Well, no, I'm Freddie Tree.
Freddie Tree.
They call me Tree because of my height.
Okay.
When I was in grammar school, I was Tree Top because I was tall.
Yeah.
And then I was Freddie Tree. But then about almost 60 years ago, I just became Tree. Now on Facebook, I'm Tree Sequoia because Facebook won't let you you can't have one name on Facebook. So I took the Sequoia tree, which is the biggest tree there is in the world. So basically, I'm Tree Sequoia.
That's beautiful. That is very beautiful. Wow.
If somebody says, why do they call you Tree? I say, when I lay down, I'm taller.
You are something else. I can tell by you making waves. You are something else.
That's right. You have to have fun.
You do that, and I think that you know what? I think that is something in life that people forget. Like in life, we're gonna go through all of these things, but you just gotta have fun and you gotta laugh through pain and keep it pushing.
I always smile. I believe in laughing a lot. I've never ended a friendship in my life yet. Because people are great. People are wonderful.
You're right, but sometimes people can do some damage. Sometimes you gotta leave them where they're at.
Well, I could tell sometimes in the bar business, somebody just the way they walk into the bar, there's trouble.
Yeah.
And sometimes somebody will shake your hand and you don't like the feeling.
Right.
And within hours, you're going to have problems with them. But 9 out of 10 times, I torture everybody I work with. I make fun of where they're from. If they're from Jersey, I tell them I went there twice. It was closed. I say I have a Jersey English dictionary at home.
Wow. Well, that's so exciting. I'm so glad that we got to speak and I got to, get a history lesson straight from the source.
Well, my boss always says people come in and they'll sit there for hours listening to me, and my job is to keep you come in for one drink. My job is to keep you there for 3 or 4.
I'm sure. I am sure. I'm already ready for my fourth.
And I'm noted for my penis collection.
What's that mean?
You want a free drink? Whip it out.
I was a bartender at the circus. I should have used that tactic.
Really?
Yeah, I at the Big Apple Circus. At the Big Apple Circus, I was a bartender.
What shocks me is most people for a free drink go, okay. Every once in a while somebody will say no, and I laugh because 10 people just said yes.
Oh, wow. Well, let's open up the floor for questions. Let's see if anyone has any questions. They might not. Somebody said, wait, what? Yeah. What is your favorite Broadway show, Tree?
I love them. I met Cheetah Rivera through her husband before they were married, Tony Mordenti.
Wow.
And that was 1958. I love Broadway shows. I like musicals, comedies. I don't like heavy drama because when I leave the theater, you're depressed. I like walking out of a theater, laughing about something or humming the songs you liked in that show.
Well, there's some shows that make you do all three.
Oh yeah, I've enjoyed one of my favorite shows was No Nanette with all the old stars of the 30s movies, Ruby Keeler in them. And then I love Les Mis. That's one of my favorite.
Yeah.
At Follies, I used to go backstage and hang out with Ethel Chate and Alexis Smith.
Wow.
These are shows I've seen like 40 times or more.
Wow. I would see, and that's why I was just about to get to the point where I was able to go see a lot of shows at once. But COVID-19 moved us out. But hey, next time we go back to New York, you'll come see me on Broadway. All right, Tree?
Where are you now?
I'm in Houston.
I have Falco. Yeah, he's the Emperor of the Imperial Court of Houston.
No, I haven't. I let me get his name. What's his last name?
Falcon.
Falcon. Okay.
I only have one name. You know what I like about Houston?
What?
Any place that puts a bacon around a hot dog, I love.
Hey,
Good for the heart.
we right. We do a lot of that here. So, Tree, is there anything you want to say about the Imperial Court?
Well, the Imperial Court is 71 chapters.
Mm-hmm.
We have 2 new ones coming up. They applied. We have 8 courts in Texas. We have Houston, Dallas, Austin, Corpus Christi, Fort Worth.
Write that down.
And I'm the emperor of the Imperial Court of New York, Emperor 25, 5 years ago. It's a 55-year-old charity. It's the oldest and biggest gay organization in the United States. We have more members, so you have 71 chapters.
Mm-hmm.
It was started by a drag queen named Jose Sierra, who just came out of the army, ran for supervisor in San Francisco, and when he lost, he worked at a Black Cat Club as a drag queen. That got raided all the time. He started the Imperial Court system 55 years ago, and now he's got 71 chapters.
Wow.
When he died at 90, they had the Requiem Mass at Grace Cathedral in San Francisco with the mayor, the governor. They hung pictures of him in all the windows on banks and lampposts. They named streets after him.
Mm-hmm.
And now they're going to put him in the California Hall of Fame.
Wow.
This little 5-foot drag queen named Jose Sierra. We all called him Mama.
Mm.
Now, the Imperial Court system are the ones that kept fighting with the Post Office Department, and we're the ones that got you the Harvey Milk stamp.
Wow.
Now we're working on the Bernard Ruskin stamp.
Mm-hmm.
We got the Navy Department to name a ship after Harvey Milk.
Wow.
It's going to be a frigate. And I said, a frigate? It's Harvey Milk. It should be a cruiser.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Wow.
now a terminal in San Francisco is naming a terminal after Harvey Milk.
That's beautiful.
So we've come a long way.
Yeah, thank you so much for your amazing work. I actually have an organization that I've started called the Next Generation Project, where we are bringing mental health resources and self-care resources to Black and brown trans folk, and we are selling T-shirts. Tree, I'm gonna get you a T-shirt, honey. Look at these.
I'm a petite 4XL.
All right, I got you, boo. The shirts are cute.
They are.
Yeah, I'm gonna get you one. I'm gonna text you and get your address. I can send you one.
That's all right. I'll send it to you. Now, next time I'm in Houston for Coronation,
I'll be here.
I go to Austin every year also. I was supposed to go to San Antonio this year, but it closed.
Yeah.
I like Austin. A lot of fun.
Austin is very fun.
All my friends, all the drag queens that perform at Rain and Oil Can Harry are ex-New York drag queens. So when I'm there, I'm very happy I'm with friends.
Yes, honey, because sometimes the hustle and bustle of NYC is just too much for the girl.
And I love the fact I buy a drink and it's $4.
Yes, that's the one thing. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't even drink in New York because I'm like, it's just no point.
I know New York rents are very high.
It is. But we're gonna make it. But I am so happy that we got to sit down and chit chat. I'm excited that you brought up Ian McKellen because our next show that we have right after this is called Bit. So y'all make sure y'all go get your tickets for that. And make sure y'all follow us on Instagram at Refractions of Pride on the description below, honey.
I see it all. I see it all.
Yeah, and they're all down here. So make sure y'all follow us on Instagram and keep up with everything we're doing. And get ready for the next show, which is going to be Bit, and it's right after this at 8 p.m. Oh, how can we get T-shirts? Somebody asked. Okay, so if y'all want to get, or you're interested in getting one of these cute Black Lives Matter tees, go to my Instagram. I think that they can put it on there. The Instagram is at WeAreTNG Project. At WeAreTNG Project on Instagram, and you will see how to order them. Here we go. But yeah, thank you so much for sitting down with us, Tree. Join us tomorrow. I'll be sitting down with my good sister Myra, honey.
All right, my love. It was such a pleasure meeting you.
It was. I can't wait to meet you in person and give you a big old hug and talk some more about this bar trick.
And my pleasure. I'll be in Texas next year once this is all over.
All right. Well, good talking to you.
I want to wish everybody a happy Pride.
Happy Pride, honey.
I'll be at the bar Saturday and Sunday, just standing there answering questions from the news media.
All right, make sure you got your mask on, Tree, because we don't need you getting sick. We need we need you to keep telling this tale.
I will, my darling.
All right. Well, goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye. Love you. Happy Pride.